Hello, guys. Good afternoon from Kampala, Uganda. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing fine, amazing, and well. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another vlog. As you have seen from the thumbnails, the title of the vlog, this is gonna be a story time. Since the first video you guys I did drop after coming back, a lot of you guys were still puzzled on how actually all these things unfolded almost in the same period of time, and I received a couple of private messages, and I literally wanted to just come back so that I can give you a detailed story time of how everything happened, because a lot of you guys still have questions. Did I get the driver? Did the police intervene? Did they have to pay me for for my health kind of attention after the accident? What really happened? So today I'm gonna be diving into that story time. Before I dive into the vlog too, and this is the first time you're watching me going on over here, hi there, I'm Tanyani Shylock. I'm a Ugandan beauty and lifestyle content creator based in Kampala, Uganda. I also happen to be a VMMC nursing officer, currently working with government hospital to provide VMMC services. And I'm just so glad and happy that today, in this moment in time in February, after almost 3 months, I can sit back and praise the Lord and be grateful for what the Lord has done for me specifically, regardless of what happened. So to take you back, 23rd December 2024, December was a very, 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 very busy month for VMMC, voluntary medical male circumcision. And if you're not familiar with that, December, it happens to be holiday time, and in holiday time we have very many students actually in holidays, and that is when most of the parents get time to bring their kids for VMMC services. And a lot of people also get perturbed by the fact that we do voluntary medical male circumcision, but I kid you not, in African countries, not only in African countries, but also according to our culture and also our religion, safe male circumcision is really important, basing on where we are. So a lot of people look at it as, but I kid you not, it is something very important, and it is something we look at with very, very much effort, especially coming from an African background. Personally, I got my circumcision done some years ago, and most of my siblings, not even most, but all my siblings who happen to be boys, and most of my friends, they have already got their VMMC done. And as I told you, it's because of culture and religion and where we are, literally. So it happens to be a very, very busy month. I remember at the start of the month, December, we were very busy. I kid you not, we would circumcise like 50, 40, 60, 80 men in a whole week. And when you niche it down to per day, you would circumcise like 10. And I worked with another co-worker, happens to be John, who is also a clinic officer, and we would split the work sometime. But since I'm a very, most of the time I wake up early, go to work early, check in early, I end up doing most surgeries because I'm always there first, and I wouldn't send away all our clients because some of the staff have not arrived. So it was a very, very busy month. So there is a client calling me, guys. Let me just pick them. Now, this is the effect of the executive order. Clients are still calling in. We are not available. Where was I? I just talked to the client and I did give him instructions on what to do. And I had to do a lot of explaining. We are not around because of this and that and that. Nevertheless, December was a very, very heavy month on us. I think we circumcised over 300 men, 2 people. Myself and my co-worker John. So it was a very heavy month, and the way how that day unfolded, 23rd, it was such an amazing day. I was at work, we circumcised men, and I was there with my best friend Elijah. I was there with John. I was there with another friend of mine. He's called Joseph. You guys haven't met all these people, but I've met them through VMMC, and they have become family to me. So we had an amazing day, and we circumcised our men. And in the evening, actually, I wanted to go home quite early, but whenever something is about to happen, especially if you don't pay attention, and I believe that last year, according to how life was unfolding to me, there are a lot of things I didn't pay attention to. But I literally wanted to come back home quite early, but I was like, no, you'll go later, you'll go later, you'll go later, you'll go later. Remember, 23rd, we are almost at the peak of Christmas. So in the evening, I have a client. He came in late. He was supposed to come in around 4, but he ended up coming around 7. I had to cannulate the client, administer drugs, safe, 2 grams and metronidazole, IV, that is, for an STI. I was able to do that. So after that, I hop onto a boda with my best friend Elijah. I tell him that we are going to go to his place first before I can continue to my place. We agree, but the traffic jam was so much, guys. The traffic was literally so much. This is 23rd. So the boda guy, instead of taking us through the main route of via Chibuye, he actually takes us through where Akayanja Kakabaka is. You know that route? I think it is in Deva. But the traffic jam was literally so much. We are literally passing on the sides of the road on a boda. Every person was just, if you really have been through these circumstances, especially 23rd, 24th in Kampala, you know how busy the city is. And at some point, I remember talking about Elijah actually telling me that, you know what, Tanya, these times have peak accidents because of the way every person is panicking to reach home to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. And I was like, you know what, Elijah, don't be so scared, because we are not the only people traveling. All people are traveling around the city center. We shall definitely move home safely. So we talk about that. We leave it at that. We continue traveling. The boda by God's grace reaches us at Elijah's place. We pay the boda guy. I escort him somehow nearer to his house, and I cross over to go to get a taxi to my place. So I move slowly to the taxi station, and as I move to the taxi station, actually I finally get a means of transportation to my place. So amidst all this, the traffic jam is still so much on Entebbe Road. It is still so much on Entebbe Road. So I get into that means of transportation, move swiftly, very, very absolutely well to my place. And reaching my place, the traffic jam was also still very much. But the route going into the city center, the traffic jam was literally little. But the route coming to Entebbe, from the city center to Entebbe, like the main Entebbe Road, it was literally so much. And I remember at some point, I literally remember looking at a store where I usually buy things and telling myself, oh, why should I first go there and pick up something? I think God was just trying to direct me to just, I can't even explain. But I was not listening. So I didn't listen to that. I moved off the boda, stood by the roadside, looked left, looked right, looked left, looked right. There is no car coming. So I cross via the first traffic jam. Remember that now this route is going to Entebbe. This route is coming from Kampala. No, this route is going to Kampala. This route is going to Entebbe. And I'm literally on the opposite here. So I'm crossing. As I'm crossing, this is traffic jam. I'm crossing through the traffic that is going to Entebbe so that I can go to the side that goes to Kampala, because that is where, on that side, that is where my house is. So I crossed very well the first side. So reaching the middle, because at the back of my mind, I had already looked this side and there was no car coming, I put up the first step into the route that goes to Kampala. It was literally empty. Kumbe the fool, the idiot, has moved out of the line, from the line which is going to Entebbe. He's now bypassing on the wrong side where cars that go to Kampala pass by, and I'm putting also my first foot there. Now, in that instance, I can't remember, but what comes to my mind in that instance, I just remember feeling a lot of blood flowing on my shoulder and trying to collect up myself nganjaya na nonya nsawo yange, because the car, now when it came like this and I have put my first step in, the side mirror hit me so bad around my jaw area. When it hit me like this, immediately I was like paralyzed, and when it hit me, I just went back onto the car that was behind in the traffic jam, traffic jam of Entebbe, and it also hit me. So I got bruises here. I got a broken skin here. I got bruises on my legs. I got bruises on my feet. The whole of this side were bruises. The whole of this side were bruises. Now, because this was my first experience when it comes to accidents, and it was literally night. I don't know if I had already mentioned it was around 10, and it was literally night. What didn't come to my brain first is like to get the vehicle plate number. It didn't cross my mind. Also, people who would have helped me, there were people in this traffic jam. They didn't help me. The guy just bruised the car over to the next stop. I crossed the road. I finished. I was bleeding heavily. It was around 10:30. There were not a lot of people on road in the night. I just told God, I was telling myself, don't panic. But I was feeling the whole of this side paralyzed. Don't panic. And I would feel blood flowing. So I did get, I don't know even what I reached for. I think I just reached for this shirt because I was in the same shirt. And I just did like this because I was feeling a lot of blood flowing through my cheek. And what came to me flowing from my cheek, the other thing in my mind was that either my jugular vein is damaged or something is damaged really very, very serious. So I moved up the hill very fast to reach this place. Reached at this place, I didn't have electricity on. Remember that I was so busy, regardless of the fact that it's my solo responsibility to pay electricity in this house, but I had not gotten the time to pay electricity. I had the money, but I had not paid electricity. So when I reached here, I was panicking. There was no electricity. I wanted to reach for the mirror. I used to have a bigger mirror. It broke. I was looking for the key. I wouldn't find the key. Blood was flowing so much through me. I was literally on that spot. And when I look back, I'm just so grateful and happy that God took me through that. And hopefully I learned something from it. Finally, I get out my phone. I was able to load on, Yaka minutes. Then went into my kitchen area because that's where I have my Yaka kind of, meter loaded on the Yaka numbers. Electricity came on. Got out this camera. Actually, I first took a picture. Definitely you guys have seen the picture already. Took a picture and the blood was so much. So initially I thought that this jugular vein was the one which was affected. So that was my main concern. So I got this mirror, looked back at it. It was literally bleeding a lot of blood was coming out. Then amidst all this, I'm panicking, but I'm telling myself, don't panic. So I have a set here. Let me show you the set. Some of these sets. So I have these safe male circumcision sets. We usually use, most of them I have like 2 or 1 at home. So I get out one of these, removing the syringe. I have some lidocaine and bupivacaine. Those are local anesthetic agents. Please, Temunenya, don't blame me because I was panicking. It was the first ever accident that has happened to me in my life. So I was panicking. I got out the syringe, withdrew the lidocaine, the bupivacaine, gave myself here. Just imagine, give yourself an injection right here. I gave myself an injection right here. Got out the needle driver, got out the suture, tried to suture myself. I thought that now I'm going to do more harm than good. I didn't want to call my mom on spot because she would panic like me. So Luvanyu, I called my co-worker John. I told him, you know what, John, I've gotten an accident. I'm coming back to hospital. Whatever you are doing, drop it down. I'm coming. Help me, please suture me. In a nutshell, I just collected up a few things of mine, took a boda back to the hospital. But there is a part I did jump. Immediately after that happened, I went to a clinic. And reaching that clinic, there was a health worker, but he panicked a lot. And when he panicked a lot, I was not able to believe him, that he would actually save me. So that's why I actually, decided to just come back home, do whatever I had to do, called John. John went back to hospital. I went back to hospital, and he was able to suture me very well. And you will see this suture line. I don't think he still has the pictures of the fresh suture line, but in case he has, I'll definitely tell him to give me some of those pictures. But yeah, that is what happened. that day. I went back to hospital. He gave me local anesthetic here and here. He reswitched up everything, and he dressed me very well. I went on to painkillers. It was a few days of hassle. I wouldn't swallow very well. It was really hard on me to swallow. The pain was so much. I wouldn't chew very well because of that joint. It was really not so good, but slowly by slowly I improved over time. I also had some antibiotics, IV safe. I also had some stronger painkillers and other antibiotics, and by grace of God, in the 2 weeks post what it had happened, I had started healing very well, and the pain was starting to reduce drastically, and I was getting back to my day-to-day normal kind of sleeping mode and chewing mode, and just feeling myself much better. I'm just so grateful and happy that regardless of whatever happened, God spared my life. God really, really spared my life. And with this, just having this car even buried this side that most people even don't realize it is also a bonus for me. I'm just so grateful and happy to God. The guy ran off where the accident happened. Entebbe Kampala highway doesn't have cameras at all points, so there is no camera at that particular point. I have a couple of friends who work in police and military. They asked me about that, but they wouldn't track the guy down. My father also asked me about that later on. Actually, my father has just saw this like 2 weeks ago while I had gone to my parents' house. I think it was during the Christmas season while I went there, post-Christmas season. Christmas season? No. This January, like 3 weeks ago, when it had healed very well, and he saw me and he was like, what happened? I explained to him, and he was like, did you get that guy? Cameras? What? I told him there are no cameras at that spot. But what I think I learned from the whole of this, guys, is that life can change in an instance. Also trusting your gut, because I somehow feel the first thing, remember, I was supposed to come back home quite early. The second thing, when I reached the place, before actually, the car came in to hit me, I wanted to first go to a particular store, but I jumped all that. Also, I had dreamt funny things in the previous kind of days, but I didn't pay as much attention to it. So probably the main reason I'm grabbing from all of this is to make sure that I always pay attention to, whatever is happening in my life, and also try to be vigilant in case something like that happens again. In case I remain alive, try to make sure that I get, contact, especially for these people who are driving recklessly. And also such people, I truly believe that most of the time the universe might take time to pay them, but it finally pays them. He will pay, because he put me into a situation where right now I have a big scar on my body. He put me in a situation where right now, where actually I had to spend a lot of money on healthcare. Regardless of the fact that John was my friend, suturing me. But again, I had to buy medication for myself. I had to take care of myself in such period of time where I needed to buy stronger painkillers, where I had to be under strong observation. I literally had to go look out for a another hospital, so that they can do a scan to just make sure that literally the jugular vein was not affected. And that was not cheap, that was not cheap, that was expensive. So with that said, guys, I think I've brought you along on that story time on how everything unfolded. The good thing, I'm pretty doing fine and well right now. I feel much better. There isn't any pain, there isn't anything. I'm feeling much better, and I'm just so grateful and happy to God that he got me through all that, so that I can be able to come here literally and share my story, and urge you guys to be more careful on Entebbe Kampala Road. Just be careful. I was just so lucky that I survived, but maybe some people have lost their lives. We have to be extra careful. Yes, with that said, guys, thank you very much for watching today's vlog. I do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And in case you need any other kind of story time on things, how they unfolded for me December, let me know. But that is your Tanya's life, trying to survive, trying to make it through life amongst all these ups and downs. With that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me meet in my next one. Tanya Shylock switching out. Bye for now.